What's going on with that beard? It's a bit up and a bit down. Hello, welcome to episode 3 of Spaceman Creative Studios YouTube channel, Spaceman Days, where we talk about Spaceman and what we get up to, as well as how we've launched in the last couple of episodes and what we're going to be doing over the next few months and, with a bit of luck, years as well. Last time we talked about the starting of the business, talking about the choosing of the name. We talked about how to get that initial inertia and get the business rolling with networking and getting out there and just doing some really hard work. At the end of the last episode, what I said I'd talk about this week was the different aspects of the business, what we offer, what I offer. There's that we again. I'm going to say that, keep saying that forever, I think. It sounds a bit like there's sort of me, and me, and me. Bizarre. Anyway, so what I talked about was the different aspects of the business, and as Spaceman, what I offer, and maybe the unique selling points and how to stand out from the crowd, I suppose. So in a nutshell, what Spaceman offers is photography, branding, graphic design, marketing, social media, and illustration. So plenty of different things to offer, which from my point of view was important because not only do I enjoy doing all those different things, so going out and taking pictures of interiors or portrait pictures, but I also like logo design, branding, marketing, all sorts of different things. So it was important for me to be able to run a business where I was actually enjoying what I was doing, not just necessarily what I was the best at. Because for me, having those different arms and different branches of the business means that I keep myself creative and keep my own brain ticking over and not just getting hung up on logo design, which, although I really enjoy, it's nice every few days to then go out on site and do a photo shoot. Aside from that as well, it means that certain companies that I talk to, it enables me to offer not just one thing. So of course someone might want a logo designed and that's it. They've got all their colours and their branding kind of set out, but they want a logo to fit what they've already done, which is fine. But some people might need logo design alongside brand guidelines. Then they might need, on top of that, for that to be put onto a website. They might need the photography for the website, and then they might need advertising, be it social media or in magazines or whatever it is, moving forward. So therefore, Spaceman then could offer all those different things to one client as well. So it's nice to have a mixture. So one of the main things I offer is logo design. It's a bit of a passion of mine. I love doing logos. Some examples here. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know why I did my own sound effects. I think most people put a sound effect on. I'll try it like that, or like this. It's too hot today. It's very hot today. Anyway, back to logo design. So logo design is a great thing to do. So sometimes you have people asking for a logo which is to do with their own guidelines. So they've got corporate colours. They've got a very strong idea of how their identity is going to be and what the direction they want to go in. And so the logo that you design is a little bit more controlled from the client point of view, which is, you still have the creativity, but you have less chance to really let loose and do exactly what you want. The other side of it is clients who have a company name and they know what industry they're going into, but outside of that, they don't know anything else. So that's quite good fun. So being able to offer logo design. So alongside all those kind of things is marketing, of course. So once you've got all that set up and you've got your website built, and again, from a Spaceman point of view, we do offer web design. It's fun in its own right. It's not my personal favourite thing to be doing. It's quite time consuming, and there's lots of companies obviously that do only that all day long, every day. But it makes sense sometimes to, if I've got a client that needs help on all aspects, is to build a website. And often it's a Squarespace or Wix website, which they're very user friendly, but with when you've got a little bit more experience in using them, it means you can tweak things and work with them really well. Outside of that, I work with a couple of really good companies that I work closely with on doing the creative direction from my point of view, and then building the website themselves on behalf of the client. But once they've got that done, the marketing then comes in. So then, from my point of view, my background before I started the business, as I spoke about, being a marketing manager, so creating marketing plan for the year, deciding on what that means in terms of creating content for social media, for the website, news stories, advertising and all that kind of stuff. So that's quite good fun as well, because it's quite varied in what you do. So the photography side of what we do as well is growing, which is fantastic. We also have, outside of Spaceman Creative Studio, we also have Spaceman Pics. And I created Spaceman Pics to take the photo portfolio and put it in one place. So that contains anything from portrait photography, product photography, interior photography, architecture, nature, all sorts of different things. It's a big passion of mine. So it's nice to be able to offer that as well. Those three things kind of encompass everything, because when you get to marketing, you're also talking about advertising and social media and web design, like I just said. So all those different aspects we cover. The final thing that I also do is illustration, which is really fun to do. So be it corporate illustration for websites or advertising, to a children's book that I recently illustrated on behalf of a really talented author and scientist called Paul Ian Cross, and together we created Prax and the Ringing Robot, which was a really fun project to work on, and something that I'm really proud of. And we worked on it together. It was a really good project, and it is going to continue into more books. And Paul, through his drive and ambition, also managed to publish that on Amazon and also onto the Waterstones website as well, which is really great. So lots of different things, from very corporate side of things to things like children's illustration. That's why I started the business. The ability to take all those things that I love doing, put them into one, offer them individually or as a package, depending on what people need. Having that, from my point of view, was fantastic. Obviously, there's loads of creative companies out there. So what makes me different? One of the main things, and I sort of touched on it last time, was networking, relationship building, and that's one thing that I've learned over a long time in my previous life, is to network and build relationships and trust and delivery on time and working with your client and being honest with them. So I think that's something that I do a lot. And also, I'm not a big corporate machine. It's me in my studio working with some really fantastic creative people, as and when I need to help me produce some fantastic content. So it's not a unique selling point in that sense, but when you sit down with a client and you discuss who you are and what you offer and why, my experience so far has been that is a nice thing for them to go with, because you also know that when I get a client, because of my setup, they're very valuable to me, and I will do all I can to help them out. But one of the main things I wanted to try and do, to stand out, is to put other things out there in the marketplace that marketed Spaceman. It meant a lot of extra work, and it didn't necessarily mean that I would bring in lots of revenue, but it would mean that marketing and promotion of the brand was happening on a regular basis. Whenever I could have a break from client work, then I could build my own portfolio or advertise Spaceman, or work on other projects that would hopefully help promote the company and push it out there. So one of the main things I did was start another little sub brand called Those Who Design. And Those Who Design is thosewhodesign.com. Was and still is a website / blog that interviews all different types of people who are in the creative design world. And as I say, it's not a money-making project. It's a website where I go and meet people and network with people and talk to them about their creative process, and then publish on the website who they are, what they do. Subsequently, that then pushes people and gets people interested in who I am and ultimately who Spaceman are. So that was quite a unique selling point for me, to add that onto the side of what I do. One of the main groups that I'm a part of is the Designers League, so you should look that up. Again, I'll add the link to it. The Designers League is a fantastic Facebook group and website that has 15,000 followers, and on a daily basis people post questions, their portfolios, troubles they're having, and everyone contributes. It's a fantastic community. Outside of that, my last 10 years has been working with interior designers and product designers. So when I've got that many different creatives, it meant that I could take that and talk to them and produce those interviews. The next video for this, for instance, is actually me visiting a brilliant artist called Sophie T, who you may have seen on Instagram. She's got over 40,000 followers. She's only spent a few years now building her brand and just gone crazy with growth and some of the amazing brands that she's been working with. And it'll be great next week to post about her and visiting her and having a chat with her about her process. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. She's got quite an interesting account and she seems like quite a character, so it'll be great to chat to her. My point being is that side project that I had, that ability to put in those extra hours, which is tiring work because you've got to go and interview someone, then write up the interview, then double check with them that it's okay and get imagery and all of that stuff. But for no revenue, that makes it quite difficult. But for me, it's speculating to accumulate. You know, it's a bit of a cliched term, but that's the reality of it. Putting out that extra work and putting out that extra content to get yourself seen as much as you physically can. So that's kind of what Spaceman has, and what I feel that has made the brand stand out, and why I've done fairly well from that. And I think that means that because of all those aspects, my clients or people that I know have then told other people about what I've been doing, and therefore you get the word of mouth business. And ultimately, word of mouth business has got to be the best business you can get, because it's from a trusted source, and people are telling other people to go directly to me in this case. So that's what I've been offering, and that's what I feel, from my point of view at least, has made the brand stand out and has enabled me to run this business successfully for the last year or so, and hopefully moving on from that. So I suppose the main point I'm making from all of this is not just obviously telling you about the business, although that is one of the main points of the YouTube channel and talking about Spaceman, but also to hopefully explain to you what other things maybe that you need to be looking at doing, rather than just creating a logo portfolio and putting it on various different sites. Websites like Dribble, for instance, you know, you have your portfolio on there, people stumble across it, they post jobs, and you can apply for them and you can get the freelance work. And obviously there's the same for photography work and illustration. The problem is that everyone is doing that. So either you've got to have the most incredible work to stand out, maybe you do, or you've got to be out there doing something else. And networking, as I said in the last video, is one of the main things that you've got to be doing. One of the main reasons that I'm even going to see Sophie T is to take pictures of her while she does her painting, and do some B-roll video for the next YouTube vlog. One of the main reasons that is networking, of course. You know, the message I sent to her on Instagram was, if you don't ask, you don't get. And that's the reality. You've got to be confident about these things. And, you know, ultimately, hopefully, lots of people are like you and are building brands and trying to make their business work. So, you know, if you ask and you come across well and you ask politely, and, you know, you're not doing it for any other reason than to help your own business, but also maybe even promote them a little bit, then most people are quite receptive to that. And I found that with Sophie. She will probably say that there's lots of fantastic artists out there, but you've got to have something a bit different about you. You've got to work harder than everyone else. And so when I talk to her and ask her about networking, I'm sure she'll say the same thing, is that to go from not a lot of followers to over 40,000, and not a brand that anyone knows, to a brand that's working with some other very well established big names, big brands, you've got to have done some networking and talking to people and getting yourself out there and working very hard to promote your own business. Hopefully you'll tune into that as well, because I think it's going to be really exciting. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next time. If you like the video, click like. Hopefully you'll share it, and I really would love it if you subscribe as well. Bye.